Oh, we're doing a coaching session.
Yeah, baby!
Yo, what's up?
What's up, what's up?
So I got what you asked for, I got the VODs, and I did upload them to YouTube.
I'm just gonna look at your stats real quick. Okay, so your CS is a little low. 7 is a little too low. I would like you to be closer to 8. And your KDA is pretty rough. 8, 6, 6. Somehow we need to try and get you more kills and dying less. So you want to have close to 5 deaths and close to 10 kills. Okay, so definitely in this kind of game, you would want to start red and path towards bot. Your account is restricted due to disruptive chat. You cannot send messages in this game.
I would like to tell my mid laner to ward reps 130, for example, but I can't.
Stuff. No more flaming your teammates.
Yeah, but I think it's for the better.
Okay, we got first blood. And you greeted by not buying a potion, so you get free longsword. It's OP. OP start.
Why would you buy a pot anyway?
It doesn't delay your first item anyways. And the potion can win you a team fight. Here, you should not have used Empower Q. Because you're not going to be able to use any of the attack speed bonus. You should have just ran to Krugs with Empower Q here. This was also... We should not be using Empower W on 2 minions. So that was just like a misplay.
Bro, I know. But my pet, I think my pet wasn't killing them. I think it was bugged.
Kited a little bit too early, but yeah. Wolves reset stuff.
Yeah. Yep. It is.
Okay, we rotate to the bot play. Here I probably would have done wolves first, just so that way your wolves and Gromp don't spawn too far away from each other. You always want to have your like smaller camps close in timers.
Would you do that? Would you buy? Would you delay your first item by buying boots early?
Yeah. Especially in this situation, like if you have your Dirk and Longsword, yeah. Like after you build Dirk, then it's fine to build boots.
Oh, really? Okay, wait. So you could reset for longsword boots, no?
Yeah, if
Instead
you
of
have
the
650
longsword,
gold,
then?
yeah. You could do a better job of scouting your lanes, like when you're not doing anything.
Okay, could you give me a specific time frame, for example?
Just like any time, so like here you're doing it good, but anytime like you're running between camps, and if you want to be perfect, you can do it while you're doing your camp. Just like scouting the adjacent lanes. Like if you're on wolves, you scout mid and bot. If you're on raptors, top and mid. Same logic. I would do Krugs before the buff. You want your small neutral camps to be spawning close to each other. If you do red, you delay like climb between raptors and Krugs. Here, obviously before ganking, you ideally want 4 stacks. Good job. This is kind of one example. So from base, when Jack shows up, you should be paying attention to like what's happening top lane in this situation, because your ult is up in 5 seconds. And it's especially important to pay attention to your adjacent lanes when your ult is coming up within 10 seconds, because you want to be able to rotate or see if there's like an opportunity. Because like here, you never know. Maybe Jax is like 50% health. You wouldn't know. And maybe you could be helping this guy. But now you pay attention because now he's getting ganked. So you're kind of late on that. And like here, you should have gotten the 4 stack. So that's the second time now you've ulted without getting 4 stacks. So it's definitely something I'd try to pay more attention to. Works out.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, sometimes it won't work out. It'll be the difference maker. It's good we're trying to punish after invading, or after getting a kill. But this might be too deep.
Yep. It was.
You end up getting out though, but you're still hovering. Like you should never try to do this. Like when you're out of the fight, you need to like you
From greeting for my stacks, bro.
It's really greedy. It's really greedy because if you die, you basically.
Yeah.
Also, is there a reason why you don't buy pink wards?
Yeah, because I forgot.
You forgot.
So no, I don't have a good excuse. Yeah, I don't have a good excuse, bro.
I always try to buy, if I can afford it, I always try to have 1 pink ward on the map. Typically where this bush is on the minimap. Like if you're on red side, try to have this bush warded, and then if you're on blue side, you try to have the opposite bush warded. The banana bush, it's called. Or like the banana.
Okay, what's the idea behind it?
So, I mean, first, it's an extremely high traffic area for junglers if they ever gank mid or enter the river. 2, most strugglers aren't gonna be walking into that bush to kill it, so the ward does last a pretty long time. And 3, you get to see like if the enemy is invading your jungle, you get to see if they're making a cross map play. There's just a lot of situations where having a ward there is really useful, so I always try to have my ward there.
Would you go pink ward after first reset then?
Sweeper? Or no, like buy like
No. Yeah, would you buy a pink after the first reset then?
If I can afford it, most of the time I will, yeah. Especially against like invade junglers.
Okay, let's say you do a normal 28 camps full clear, right? Then you do have like enough gold for 2 long swords and pink what, right? So you would go
Yep.
for pink.
Exactly.
Alright.
So just try to be more aware of your ult coming up. So here you look, it looks like Jax was killable. But now you're paying attention, so this is really good, what you're doing. This is what I want you to continue doing. So here the idea is you should drag this red as far as you can, but I guess it doesn't matter because the last one's up. Good ult. Yeah, I can't do this legally. That was suicide. If they play that better, you can't get that kill, and you just lose the game because you give it a huge shutdown. It's tough to give it, but you have to, with Rammus standing there.
Alright.
Because he was very close to canceling your leap with his Q. And if he taunts you after you cleanse, you're dead. Okay, so we never want to overstay here. Because Gragas is low, he wants to reset, and you're in an awkward position completely away from bushes. And you don't have ult. So yeah, this is definitely like a fight you would avoid having, and you would just walk away to reset and go to your bot side camps. You sort of have to just be mindful of which fights you can take and which fights you can't. Like that fight, you have no ult, you're low, your top laner's low, you want to reset. So try to just make like the executive decision to just back off, no matter how tempting it is to like try and help your team. Just try to like be there for the play, but like that actually is bad for you and your team because they think you can do something, but you in reality you can't. You're just baiting you're baiting your team to making a bad fight. Okay, I want to see how you handle mid game because now you're fed. So let's see what you do with it. So top and bot are both open lanes. Jax is pushing bot, but you have ult. Like here you should be running straight towards bot with Talon. But you're too focused on the mid lane play, which is fine, but it's just like you could be scouting more. Here I would have gone for Draven. Draven's more important than the Mel.
Why?
Because Draven's like way more important to kill than Mel. Even though Mel's 1 HP, Draven's full HP. But are they both free kills?
I don't know.
They should be.
I figured the Mel is more free than Draven.
Because you have enough damage to kill this Draven. Like it's the same as if he is 1 health like Mel. You have 4 stacks, you have 2.5 items essentially. Like you can easily one-shot this Draven by jumping on him. So you just picked essentially the wrong target.
Okay, would you figure Draven is a more important character in that game than Mel?
Just from watching this game, I'd say so.
Because you make a distinction between those two, right? You would say Draven is more important to kill, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get behind the idea, because I have no clue.
So another way of looking at it is Mel is 1 HP and she has to recall, yeah? She's out of the fight,
okay, sure.
Whatever's happening.
Sure.
Draven's full health. He's staying on the map. If you kill Draven, you essentially are taking out 2 people because Mel's out of the fight. She has to reset. But if you go for Mel, Draven's full health. He's still in the fight, you know?
Okay, sure, I get that.
Okay, so here, this fight, doing Herald without ult, it's sketch. It's very sketch. I'm not a fan of these kinds of plays, especially like because it's just kind of flip.
What would you have done instead?
So first of all, Draven would be dead if I was in this game. And then we would be in much better position to do Herald because they don't have their AD carry or their mid laner.
Okay, sure.
And then I think Herald is fine after we kill Draven because then, yeah, this whole situation mid never happens. The way I would have handled this is I wouldn't have been in this situation, essentially.
Okay.
I think, I think here, what I would have done, as soon as Jax gets low after you TP'd, I would have done the same thing. Root, do as much damage as possible to him. And then I would have gotten 4 stacks and I would have walked around. I wouldn't have played in this river area. I would have tried to walk around flanked and try to get behind them, like down here. Because then if they engage on your team, then you can flank them and jump on them. But if they engage on you, then you back up. You just don't go in. You just back up and then you give your team breathing room, essentially. So you're basically just applying pressure with your body by going down. But instead we focus on the Herald and we tunnel in a fight and then flip the smite. Okay, so one of the things whenever I coach master players, one of the things that they need to improve the most on is split pushing. There's been a few opportunities this game where you could be split pushing, but you're not doing it enough. And that would explain your low CS. Well, not low CS, but like average CS. Like you average 7 CS a game, I think. I remember?
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
which is
precisely 7.
It's like how much CS you get if you're full clear, but nothing more. Not taking the enemy jungle, not side laning, stuff like that. It's like 7 CS is fine. Like that's the average you should have if you're farming your camps, but you should be getting more. Like 8 and 9 in CS is where you're getting like split pushing, you're invading, all these sorts of things, covering lanes.
Which would be expected of me in this game, right? Considering how fat I am.
Yes, in these sorts of games, I mean, it's not even these sorts of games, it's just split pushing is just one of the most vital things to do on Rengar. You not only boost your economy because you're pushing the side lane, threatening side towers, but if you get those towers, you're becoming, you get like 1,000 gold off a tower, tier 2 towers, you open up the map so that way you can flank and all these things, and then you're applying side pressure, you're forcing the enemy to like split up and rotate to you, all these sorts of things. Like your game will become so much easier if you split push in these opportunities, like especially when in here, when you didn't have ult, instead of doing like this mid play, I would have just immediately killed this ward and like looked for Krugs. I would have tried to making my way down to the bot lane, because I'm thinking, okay, I don't have ult, I need to like off somewhere, I need to go to Krugs, I need to go split push bot, you know, like I can't stay here, I want to draw pressure, but instead we're like kind of hovering with no ult, and we make this fight, which may or may not have worked out, but that's not what I would have done, and I don't think that's correct. Like I would be bot lane right now split pushing, and then my team would be staying mid, essentially, is what I'm trying to get my point across. And this is also extremely important if you have Herald. Like if you have Herald as a jungler right now, like you are a threat, because anytime you're in a side lane, the enemy has to rotate to you, because you are threatening their tower, which allows you draw so much pressure to yourself, and the enemy is going to have to send one, like 2 for sure people towards you, especially when you're this fed in the game, and then it just gives so much breathing room for your teammates, which in return will give you more options to play the game. But if you're constantly grouping with your teammates and you're playing these 5v5 fights, especially when you don't have ult, you're going to feel like your options are limited. You're going to feel like you're getting choked out of the game and you can't carry.
Yeah, it did feel like that in the game for sure. Okay, so you wouldn't go for reps at all. You would just go Crux,
I would
wave,
go straight Crux, wave into tower, into playing around Herald.
All right.
Because you, especially in this situation when Jax is threatening bot, if you guys don't get anything done mid, if your teammates don't do something good mid, he's getting that tower for free. He's split pushing for free. One way to counter that is to threaten the same thing on the opposite side of the map. So pushing this lane, threatening this tower. You are essentially canceling each other out. You're getting something out of Jax being bot. But if your team is AFK mid and you're clearing Raptors, you're not getting anything out of Jax pushing bot. You're just giving that over for free. So I'm not really a fan of how we pressed ult here, especially at this point in the game. I'm always trying to approach fights with 4 stacks. So this is just one of those habits that you seem to have. You just press ult feeling like you need to enter a fight as soon as possible. But
yeah, how would you have gotten your stacks here though? On the pink wall, maybe?
Yeah, literally look for anything. Maybe run straight to Otacon. Like literally, just you have to try and find a way.
Okay.
This is also a situation where I would have dropped Herald before a team fight. Because Herald can...
Okay.
Have you ever seen a team fight where someone dropped Herald and used it?
Yeah.
It can be OP.
Yeah.
Because it instantly makes you invulnerable, and then you just run around CCing people and doing true damage to them, essentially. And they can't stop you.
Yeah, I think NettyNet does that pretty good, right? I honestly, since I have been a mid lane OTP for 10 years straight, right? I have no clue how to effectively use Herald. Which is, I think, pretty weak. I'm pretty weak in that. I have no clue about that.
That's definitely something to try and think about more when you have Herald. So yeah, so that's another thing I would write down for you. Is like, whenever you have Herald, think about, like, actively think how to use Herald effectively. That'll get you in a better habit of, like, that'll just help you get better at using. Because, like, you need to try applying pressure with Herald. You need to get a tower or drop it before a team fight starts, so that way you can use Herald like while you're team fighting and stuff. Because yeah, Herald would have become extremely handy in this team fight. You should just jump on Rammus, kill him, but instead we don't jump on Rammus, because if you jumped on him, you would have 4 stacks right now. You would just jump, boom, 4 stacks, be able to look for Draven, but we didn't get the jump off. And then you'd be able to make a play on Jax with 4 stacks. Herald would be up, you could run him down. Your teammate could be able to disengage. You'd be gliding in Herald right now, invulnerable. Those sorts of things. Okay, so you go Edge and Knight this game. I'm not a fan. I think 8 out of 10 of the times I see a Rengar player build Edge and Knight, I think it's incorrect. I would only build Edge and Knight in games where I need target access. Do you remember playing this game and having a tough time with target access?
Well, it was yesterday, but my short-term memory is kind of, so I don't remember. In the end, though, I think I did not have that as many problems as I thought I would have.
Because yeah, the enemy team, like, they have Draven E, they have Rammus Q.
Yeah.
But these are not really reliable abilities that can stop you from getting onto your target. So I wouldn't have gone Edge and Knight here. What else you could have gone? Probably Opportunity. It's just raw damage and utility. That probably would have been fine. LDR, I'm not a fan of this game because they have one person on their team that has armor. That's and the people you're jumping on, which is like, I guess Mel has Zanya's, but if you're gonna go an armor pen item this game, I probably would go Grudge.
Oh yeah, I have no clue when to go Grudge, LDR, or I mean I guess Mortal for life steal stuff, right? But when to go Grudge, when to go LDR.
Grudge is good if you need armor pen and you need cooldown reduction. Those two things. Because it offers both. LDR is good if the enemy has a ton of armor and no healing. Mortal Reminder is good if they have a ton of armor and they have healing. LDR is probably the item I buy the least out of the three, just because they usually have healing and I usually need CDR. But it's not that bad because it is also one of the cheaper ones. I think it's like 3,100. And it gives crit.
Yeah.
So LDR will give you the most damage out of the three, I think, if I remember correctly, like mathematically.
Oh, this one is going to be embarrassing, by the way. Report me.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I felt disgusting. I was flaming myself on stream.
Okay, so we get bot tower, that's fine. Pressing ult here? Not really a fan because you should know where they are.
Well, I didn't. I thought mid lane. I thought Mel was hovering mid lane.
So I still haven't seen you like split pushing yet. This Jax has just been farming this entire game in a side lane by himself. Like, I'm pretty sure you could easily deal with this guy. He has Merc treads last time I checked. Like, he is very squishy, especially if you manage to bait out his E. But instead we're going for like these, like this fight. Look what's happening this fight.
Okay.
Your Cog is dead. Thresh is dead. Your Talon is bot. You are essentially 2v3ing. 2v4ing because Jax could TP. You don't know. Like, this fight is just unnecessary and risky, especially when Jax is pushing in a lane by himself. Like, again, like we talked about earlier, like if Jax is pushing and someone is side laning, you need to trade something. You need to get something out of it. So here, I would have probably just gone top and dealt with him. But like A-ramming mid, especially when you're missing 3 of your teammates, is just not it. You need to focus more on split pushing for sure.
Yeah, I see that.
You're too easy to deal with if you're focusing on carrying these games through team fighting. You're just too easy because the enemy's just gonna group, especially their comp. It's like hard to kill. Like Rammus, Mel, Draven, Blitz. Like these are not really easy champs to kill. Like you need to be focusing more on side laning, which will give you infinitely more like opportunities to carry a game.
Okay, here I had turbo cancer. I did misclick and it was an insta loss.
Okay, I just want to see how you approach it. So here, when you get 4 stacks, I wouldn't have W'd. You're too close to the fight where you're gonna need your W, so you can't use it to like just passively get stacks. Here, probably would have pressed Ghostblade to jump on the Draven. Because yeah, if you kill this Draven, like the fight's over. But instead we don't, like even like ult for like the micro movement speed, but you also misclick backwards. Here, like you click up instead of just straight down, and you probably would have gotten the jump off, especially if you had Ghostblade. But now Draven is safe. We accidentally jumped too deep, and now the fight's over.
Yeah, I didn't want to jump this.
I mean, it's actually, it's not even Giga lost. Yeah, the game's not even over.
Oh, really? In my mind it was.
You guys traded Dragon for Baron. Obviously not ideal, but it's all you can do. Here, you should be one-shotting this Draven. This is like the freest kill ever. You wait for your E to come up, and then you just one-shot combo.
Yeah, I tried that.
But
no, I didn't.
We jumped on the wrong person.
Oops. Yeah.
This Jax is a problem now because he's just been power farming this whole game.
I see. Okay. Is this like a general thing? Yeah, sure, but I do have a question to that.
Sure.
Is it like a general thing you keep in your mind whenever they have like split push heavy champs like Trundle, Fiora, Jackson, that you put more and extra attention on the side lane?
Yeah, absolutely. I think about it all the time. Like it's one of the things that I think about the most is because it's one of the ways you translate leads into like winning. Is like when you attack their solo laners when they're in a side lane. So like if they have a Cassante and they have, I don't know, a Galio, that's going to be a tough game because those are not solo lane champs that I can deal with very easily. But if they have like a Jace top with like a Ryze mid, like these are champions that I can deal with. And like I'm happy this game because like I know at some point in the game I'm going to be able to focus on side laning and trying to kill them. And they're also going to be focusing on side laning because those are side lane champs, right? So yeah.
Sure.
Definitely got to think about side laning more. Okay, so 1, mute all. 2, always look to trade objectives / trade in general, and then in parentheses think about the Jax split pushing scenario. In team fights,
Do I go mute all by the way? Do I go mute all every game?
so I would only unmute all whenever you need information from your team. That's the only thing.
Gotcha.
So if you need, like, if you're about to gank a lane and you need to know if they have summoners or not, you can unmute all and ask. But like, never allow your teammates to tilt you by typing. If they're tilting you, you need to mute. Okay, 3. Always try to approach team fights with 4 stacks and think consciously about how to approach the fight. Who you're gonna jump on, how you're going to enter the fight. And then under that, always try to flank in your ult rather than running straight at them. 4. Key thing to note. Okay.
Why is it 15 minutes specifically?
Because
Is it
that's
due to the
usually
minions somehow.
No, that's usually just when lane phase is kind of over and lanes will start opening up, and you're at a point in the game when you have 1.5 items, if not 2 items, and you should be able to one-shot people in the side lane, unless they're like tanks. No more ARAMing.
Come on, bro! Don't do me like
Split
this. Okay.
No, seriously, like, in your next games that you play, after, like, especially the 15-minute mark, when, like, people are roaming around and grouping and stuff, really try to think in your head to split push. Like, really have an alarm go off in your mind whenever, like, you see people grouping, especially when you don't have ult. If your ult is on cooldown, you need to just go somewhere else. Don't hover. That's another thing. Stop hovering. Stop hovering. Your teammates don't get baited. Go
Okay, would you
do
prefer
something.
camps over waves or vice versa?
That depends.
Generally.
That depends. Like, for example,
Yeah, I figured.
in the Jax situation where Jax is pushing bot, you don't want to be farming your camps. You want to be pushing a wave because you want to be applying pressure. And doing your camps is not applying pressure. That's just being passive. But if you have time to do camps before going to a wave, like, for example, if Jax wasn't bot and he was kind of mid and he wasn't, like, no one was bot lane, then you would be able to go to Krugs first in that situation and then top, right? So you're killing the camp on the way to the lane.
Yeah. It's like a mid stop, but not the end goal, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably won't write down more than that because I just really want you to focus on these things. Muting all,
Sure,
and then split pushing, and then like the 4 stacks are the biggest things that you need to work on.